can't be perfect.
Yeah, no, I get that, but still, it's like
What's going on there, Chops?
now now we're really deep in a fucking pennant race here, and it's like you those small little mistakes become this big at that point.
Yes, yes, they do. All right, everybody, what's going on?
Hello.
Hello. Welcome back. Hope you guys are enjoying your weekend. Hope you guys had a good week. All righty. All right, let's get right into it. We got some good things to talk about this week. The NBA is kind of like finally popping off with some news.
Good
The
stuff.
MLB is heating up that major race.
Yes.
All right, Danny, why don't you hit us with those NL standings?
Okay, so the NL Central, we have the Cardinals in first. They're 62 and 50. They got a game and a half lead over the Brewers. They're 60 and 51. The Cubs, they're 46 and 65. The Pirates are 45 and 68, and the Reds are 44 and 67. In the NL East, the Mets, they're 73 and 40. They got a 6 game lead over Atlanta. They're 67 and 46. The Phillies, they're 63 and 49. The Marlins are 50 and 62, and the Nationals are 37 and 77. The Mets are 73 and 40. I have a feeling that I didn't say what their record was, so I just gonna go over that again real quick. In the NL West, the Dodgers are 78 and 33. They got a 16 game lead over the Padres. They're 64 and 51. Giants are 55 and 57. Diamondbacks 51 and 61, and the Rockies are 51 and 64. Now y'all are in last place.
Fuck.
So
How dare you? How dare you?
My bad. But how dare you? uh, yeah, the Dodgers. The only team close to them is the Mets at 73 and 40. I mean, so they're was it 111 games? 100. I mean, I still think it's possible the Mets can catch the Dodgers.
at this point, I'm not even worried about it. I know you've been on this for a while, and it would be nice, but as long as they can get one of the first two seeds and grant them that first week bye to give them a little bit of rest, which worries me that it could come back to haunt them. You know, we've
Okay.
seen how rest can hurt a team, but we've seen how rest can help a team. So I don't know. We're gonna have to just see how that plays out.
Well, I think in terms of like when it comes to the playoffs, it's definitely who's going to be the fresher team. Usually,
Yeah,
it applies to that, and that's I understand why you just want to get one of the one or two seed, so you can get some rest. For that 3 game set that's going to go on between the wild card teams.
yeah.
All right, let's the Cardinals and the Brewers, man. That's a close fucking race right there. 62 and 50 to 60 to 51.
I think the Brewers are gonna keep dropping though, because it seems like when they made that trade and they traded away Hater, it just seems like they've just been slowly, like that thing where the person stands behind the fucking couch and does like the escalator going down, very slowly. They're just gonna keep taking that dive, man.
I mean, yeah, I've been hearing a lot of clubhouse rumors from them that the clubhouse was thoroughly upset that they got rid of their closer
I would be too. I mean, arguably, Hader is the best closer in baseball. I
for
mean,
the past
Diaz is
4 years. Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, so obviously the organization didn't believe in them to go forward and actually get a fucking playoff spot and then perform in the playoffs and progress through the playoffs. So I honestly think that's why they wanted to avoid the money that he was probably going to ask for in the offseason.
he was due to make at least like 17 million or something like that next year, and they just didn't feel comfortable giving that to him. What do you mean you don't feel comfortable giving that to him? This guy's the best closer in baseball. If he wants 20 million a year, give it to him.
They obviously feel a lot different. That's why his
Yeah,
ass is no longer there.
he's not that guy no more.
Yeah.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
That clubhouse was definitely.
Emotional damage.
Yeah,
All right, let's jump into the AL. I'll start with the East. The Yankees 71 and 42. Blue Jays 60 and 51. They're down 10 games. The Orioles 59 and 53.
Yo, they
Holy shit, man. After trading some of their biggest pieces, they're still rolling.
even before then, they've kind of like they had the ball rolling before then,
Yeah.
you know, and then now look, they're 6 games over 500, and they're
Six
looking
games
at
over 500.
they're fighting for that wild card spot.
Yeah,
'Cause
they are.
They got a better record than Minnesota. They got a better record than the White Sox. Outside of the Yankees, they got a better,
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
I think they're
they-
really trying to push for that last spot, and
yeah.
right
They-
now I think they're gonna get it the way they're playing.
They have it right now.
Oh, they do, yeah, because the Rays are 58 and 53, the Red Sox are 56 and 58. It just blows my mind. Like the whole division is pretty much competitive, right? But what's happening with the Rays and the Red Sox? Like what the
Well,
fuck?
the
is
Red
going
Sox
on?
have been on a downfall for a while.
A downfall. I wouldn't even call that a downfall. I'd call that a fucking
Mudslide.
a fuck mudslide. They were in a plane and just fucking leaped and then went like this to pull the parachute and went, oh shit. The Central Guardians.
They're a game and a half out of that second wild card. The Blue Jays have that second wild card spot.
2, 3, 4, 5.
There's plenty of time left.
Wait, 2, 4. Yeah, there is plenty of time. All right, so the Central, the Indians, 60 wins, 52 losses. They're first in the division. The Twins right behind them. I can't believe that within a 2-week span we have the Twins falling off. They're 5 and 5 in their last 10, and the Guardians are 7 and 3. The Indians.
Yeah.
The White Sox 57-56. They're 3.5 out. The Royals. What's the point of even talking about them? 47 and 67. Tigers. Same thing. 43-71. If that's not a bruh, I don't know what is. The AL West. Astros 73 and 41. The Mariners 62 and 52. They keep rolling too.
Yeah, they're playing well. They were riding really high for a while going into the All-Star break, and they've kind of just like leveled off, but they've maintained a good steam ahead. And honestly, yeah, I don't. If they don't get a wild card spot, I'm going to be definitely highly upset. So.
I think they're locked in for the wild card. I don't think they're going nowhere. The Rangers 49 and 63. The Angels 49 and 64. The Athletics 41 and 72. 1, 2. Those are division winners. So the best 3 records.
So I'm looking at it right now. So the Mariners and Blue Jays hold the top 2 spots. The Orioles, they
should be the 6th seed.
They're a game and a half out. But they're a game and a half behind Toronto. And then Minnesota and the Rays, they're a half a game out. The White Sox 2.5, the Red Sox 4, and that's where it falls off after that. The Rangers are 10 games out, and then that's it. I'm not even gonna continue that list.
No. I mean, but it's gonna be interesting.
The National League is a little closer.
Yeah.
No one's really going to take that top spot from the Braves. I mean, if they overtake the Mets, then the Mets fall right down into that spot. So, that's really not going to be
I don't
fluctuating.
Want that to happen.
No, I'm just saying. The Phillies got the second spot. They have a half game over the Padres, and then the Brewers are 2 games out, and then the Giants. Look, we've seen crazier things happen. I remember going back years ago, the Cardinals were like 9 games out, and they ended up having like a really torrid September and catapulted them into the playoffs. So the Giants at 7.5 out. It's still possible, but you have to play at least 750 or better the rest of the way out.
Yeah, but through 2/3 of the season, they haven't even played like that. So I don't expect them to.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere. I mean, like you said, stranger things have happened. It could happen. Not saying it won't. I just don't think it's likely that it's going to.
This is the time of year where these crazy things do happen.
Yeah. I'm more or less on like the way I look at it is I look at the trend. I look at the 54 games. You know what I mean? There's 3 three parts of the season: first 54, the middle 54, then the end 54.
Right.
That sounded like a video game.
354.
Yeah, 154 and 54 minutes. I don't see it happening.
No.
I think the NL is gonna stay the way it is. I think the Brewers, they fucked themselves out of that wild card spot. I think Philly is definitely taking that wild card spot now.
And that's what I'm saying. Well, maybe not definitely, but like even I was talking to my stepdad the other day. It was like he doesn't even think the Padres are gonna make it. And honestly, like all the moves that they made at first, I was like, yeah, I don't know about that. But I don't know. It's like with all the moves that they made, they haven't really hit the ground running. I mean, they're 5-5 in their last 10, going dating back to a little before the trade, a little after the trade deadline. I mean, 5-5 is not bad. I mean, they are winners of their last three, but I don't know. Philly's hot right now.
Yeah, I know Philly's hot, but Philly. I know Philly's going to be in, the Braves are going to be in, and the Padres. Those are the three wild cards for the NL right now. Are the Brewers going to outplay the Padres and muscle them out? It's a possibility, but
They're only 2 games out. Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, that's the only team in the NL essentially that could boot them out. I don't think the San Francisco is going to catch them.
No.
They're like 9 games out.
7.5. They like I said, they'd have to play 750 or better. They literally have to catch lightning in a bottle the rest of the way out.
And so do the Brewers. They're 3-7 in their last 10.
The Brewers can play. I think depending on how San Diego plays, the Brewers can play they have a slightly bigger margin for error. You know, but it's not that much bigger.
I mean, with the news, that came in yesterday with Tatis being suspended for PEDs, which we'll touch on in a little bit. 80 games.
He wasn't even expected to be back until the end of this month or September at the latest.
Yeah.
And like I was saying weeks ago, what is he going to be? What would he have been when he came back? Is he going to hit the ground running and like the ground, like he never left, like he was never hurt? Or was it going to take him a week or two to get some at bats under his belt and get back into the swing of things?
Or it could have been that, or he could have been just used as a decoy, in a sense.
I mean, I would have definitely brought him back, and at least
I wouldn't have put him in my top 5, batting order. I'd have started him, 6, 7, or 8.
Well, I mean,
just to get into the swing of things.
I would have definitely had him as my DH for sure the first couple of games.
So now, for me, if this news had come, right, and they had not made the move for Soto, then I would definitely be calling for, the fire has begun. They're going to crumble right in front of our eyes. I think getting Bell and Soto covers up any error with not having Tatis.
Yeah, but from what I've been seeing and following it, Soto hasn't even really been tearing the cover off the ball.
Well, he has to get acclimated and adjust to his new surroundings.
How long should that really take? I mean, it really shouldn't take a superstar, quote unquote, that long to adjust.
I'd say honestly, mid-September he should be back in full swing form.
That's too late. We're in mid-August right now. That is way too. You're talking another month.
No, I'm saying like September 10th, like 2-3 weeks.
That's still too late. Like that's.
Well, the position that they're in right now, as we're talking about the playoffs, we don't see any other team but booting them out.
No, but they.
So you have time for him to get back into it, no matter how long it takes. Now, you don't want it to be the first round of the playoffs, and you're like, Soto, where you at? And he's like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, what's going on?
Make the playoffs.
Well, look, if it all crumbles and the Brewers, I don't know, out of nowhere, decide like, hey, we could still do this, then, every Padre fan is going to be looking at them like,
congratulations, you played yourself.
You just gave away our whole entire fucking prospects and everything for 2 guys who didn't do shit for us. We still missed the playoffs.
And one's going to be a free agent next year, and the other one, there's no guarantee he even signs a long-term extension with you guys. So
Yeah.
I think definitely for sure the rest of the season is riding on the shoulders of Soto. Because they played well up until this point, but now you're expecting Soto to come over and really,
I,
you
I
know,
would I would more or less say it's on Machado's shoulders because
well,
he's
he's
been
but he yeah, but he's been playing well all year.
no, no,
So
I understand that, but he's the one that's been carrying the team. Like just because Soto came in out of nowhere doesn't mean that Soto's going to take the reins from Machado as the leader of that team. Put the team on his back. He still has to get adjusted. And I'll use the age factor as well. He's 23. He's not. He isn't. Where was he from? Dominican Republic.
I think so.
Let me check
Or
that.
Puerto Rico.
He was from the Dominican Republic. So now he's been over here for what, 5 years, right? But he's
I think 2017, 2018,
yeah,
his rookie year.
so about 5 years he's been in America with the American, the MLB. He was stationed in Washington, playing with Washington. Yes, he did travel to these places here and there and see them, but he's never been there full time like he was in Washington. So in Washington, he knows the town. He's comfortable. He knows everything that's going on. Now you're moving from the East Coast to the West Coast. Now you gotta fix your sleeping clock, right?
Yeah, but that takes a couple of days. That doesn't take that long.
I'm just saying, out of everything, he's so young, right? He's been traded. It's a new area, new team. It's gonna take a little bit. I mean, I understand what you're saying from the aspect of in like, dude, you're supposed to be a superstar. This is supposed to be a 1, 2, 3, boom, you're in. Let's go. He's still young, right?
Yeah,
And
but look at the way he's a World Series champion. He's a Silver Slugger. He's an All Star. So he's a batting champ. So like I said, I really don't think it should take this long. I mean, granted, we're only 11 days into the Soto era in San Diego, but I mean, I he hasn't really been doing it.
well, 11 days, and the Padres are 5-5. So if they were 3-7, I would have more urgency. Like, all right, what the fuck's going on here? We got to get this shit going. I think if they play 500 ball throughout the rest of the season, they'll be in the playoffs, and I think that's when you'll see the gear shift for Bell and Soto. Because, like you just said, Soto's a world champion. He knows what
Yeah.
it takes.
He's young, so when he was on that stage in the postseason, he played very well. He had a very good World Series.
Exactly. So maybe time to adjust. I mean, especially because now you're going. I mean, you're still in the NL, right? But you have to adjust to the competition within your division because you're going to be playing them more, right? So he probably wouldn't see the Dodgers that much playing it for Washington. Now that he's playing for the Padres, you're going to be seeing San Francisco and the Dodgers a lot more often. And the Dodgers have good pitching, right?
Right. Okay. So in nine games, 41 plate appearances, 34 at bats, 8 runs, 12 hits, 3 doubles, a home run, a triple, and 2 RBIs. So that all equates to a 353 average, which, granted, in the small sample size, is nice. But it's like when you look at that line, like, really, 1 home run, 3 doubles.
Well, I mean, he is the
It's like
most
a lot. A
he
lot of
is the
those
most
hits are
walked player
just,
this year. They
yeah, but a lot
walk.
of those hits are just singles.
I get it. 353 is small sample size. I still think is good. The one home run, yes, it's like all right. There should be at least four. Give me at least four.
I would think.
Yeah, 353 is not bad. I mean, I understand he's not hitting home runs, but he is the most walked player in baseball this year.
I mean, his on base percentage is 450. He's only been walked 6 times
Yeah, but six
in the
times.
9 game,
How many games? What, 11, 12 games?
nine games. So he's been walked 6 times in 34 at bats. 6, 12, 18, 24. That's no.
That's about one every five at bats they walk him.
Something like that.
So one in every five at bats. That's almost basically essentially like one a game. He's walked once a game, and it's probably,
Almost,
most
yeah.
likely it's probably like towards the later innings where there's people on, and the opposing head coach is like, fuck that, you send his ass to first, and we'll move the fuck on.
Yeah.
I mean, so it'll be interesting to see what kind of Soto we're gonna get come the playoffs, or just down this stretch all the way into the end of September. Maybe those stats get better, maybe they don't. But I don't really think it's all on him just yet. And I think that's why they made the move, and they weren't expecting Tatis to get fucking suspended.
No.
So
Or wait up.
what?
What if they might have had some
An
kind
inkling,
of,
a new. That's why
and
they
they're
were
like,
pushing so
we
hard.
gotta go. Yeah. So we gotta go out and get someone like a Soto. I mean, is it possible?
Oh
Really,
yeah, it's
definitely?
100% possible. I wouldn't put it past them. We see it all the time in football.
They teams sign players because they have an idea about one guy and
Well, look at Calvin
whether
Ridley last year. The Atlanta Falcons knew he was gonna be suspended, right? And then through that time, they knew that he was gonna be suspended. Last year, they were trying to shop him before the deadline. And then just before the deadline hit, that's when the news came out. Oh, he's suspended.
right.
And I do think it was a little bit of a cop out for him to turn around last year and say, "Oh, I have mental health issues. I have mental problems, whatever it is." And I know the world is all advocating for mental health. I get it. I think Atlanta knew he was going to be suspended, and they said, "Look, you just sit your ass down," because it would have looked way worse if he was playing, right, and he was still betting on games. You know what I mean? It would have looked wild. So they were like, "Yo, just sit down, wait for it to come. It's going to come. We're going to try to ship you off before it happens. Now, if we can't move you, then you're just going to sit, and we'll see you next year." So, I mean, you have a valid point there. The Padres could have known about that, and that's why they made the move for him. But I still think it's Machado's team, and I think they're following his lead.
It definitely still is Machado's team.
So, and I think this is actually a plus that Tatis is actually getting suspended for them.
How so?
Because now you can.
That's a big bet. Now you don't have him in the lineup.
I know, but I think more or less, this is their test year, right? They're analyzing everybody on their team and how they're performing in the
See
playoffs.
what they have. See who they're going to keep moving forward. Yeah.
Now they know next season about 30 games. Tatis won't be there, so for the first 30 some odd games he won't be
For the
there.
first month.
For the first month essentially, and then he's back. So then he'll be playing for 5 months. You put the PED thing behind you. Now he's performing at what he was, before he had gotten hurt. And I'll tell you one thing, if I'm San Diego Padres and he broke his wrist because of a motorcycle accident, I'd have said, "You ever touch a motorcycle again, I will ship you out here faster than a UPS box."
Yeah, but I feel you, but you can't be saying that to the players when it comes to certain things like that.
Yeah,
like if you don't want your player to go play in the World Baseball Classic, that's one thing. You can't tell him not to go ride a motorcycle.
Yeah, but
or
I
whatever.
pay you for this contract. Now I understand if you
He's
get
living
hurt.
his life. He's having fun. He's doing
Okay, but I shouldn't have to pay you for your stupidity. I'll pay you if you get hurt doing something a part of the game. If you're out here riding motorcycles and you crash your motorcycle and you break your wrist, whose fault is that?
Well, maybe he's not liable for the accident. Maybe the accident wasn't his fault.
Yeah, but still, but why were you in that position in the first
Because
place?
he's coming home from practice, or he's heading somewhere, and just a regular life event that happens like that. I get it. There's in ways you want there to be like guidelines in place for when and if things like that happen. Like,
I mean, I just wouldn't. I wouldn't feel comfortable.
Now you're really cutting into like, what someone does as a hobby or likes and, living life. And now you're really kind of like, I think you're...
I get what you're saying. You're kind of like, you're saying that like as an owner, if I was in that situation, it's like you're being a dick right now. You know what I mean? But in my view, it's like, look, I'd rather be a dick and not pay for somebody being stupid. You know what I mean?
Well, then, when something like that happens, be it an accident, be it you hurt your back because you're helping you go back to your home country or whatever, and you're doing some work and you hurt your back or something like that. Like, there has to be a way where obviously they find out if it was because of your own stupidity and you did something wrong or you were in the wrong place at the wrong time, or oh shit, it was just damn, it was a general accident.
Yeah, but all right. The perfect example to this is you've watched it, and I've watched it. The series Ballers on HBO, where Vernon Littlefield is going to play paintball,
Yeah.
and he tears his fucking Achilles playing paintball.
See, but would that have happened if his fucking so-called agent wasn't being a dick? Come on now. Fuck out of here.
But still, remember they were telling him, "Yo, just lie, just tell them you heard it training, because then they can't take the money away from you."
Right.
Right? And props to him in that show, the character of Vernon being like, "Yo, I just can't lie. I got to be honest." And look how pissed
The team got.
no, look how pissed Jerry Jones got, the guy who played Jerry Jones. He's like,
Right.
"Goodbye, Littlefield." Click. And he put fucking Vernon in a fucking like a bubble of suspense for a week. Am I gonna get cut? Am I gonna lose my money? What's gonna
Right.
happen? He goes on and he tells, he goes to the press conference. Oh, Vernon hurt himself training. Da 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 da. Walks off the stage, goes to the agent, and he tells him, he goes, "Hey, you tell Spency we take care of our boys." You know what I mean? So that's where I'm coming from in this, like that scenario, and I understand. It's like you're the player, I'm the owner right now, and you're like, "Yo, come on, man! Like I can't ride a bike." Like, no, obviously not.
Okay, so what like a bike? What if I'm driving a car and some fucking jackass wants to fucking sideswipe me and then I crash into a pole and now I get a concussion and a broken arm.
I get what you're saying. Anything
You
can
know?
happen at any moment. It's life, but
Not everything that happens to somebody, everything happens for a reason, but hey, sometimes that person just comes across the side of the highway and
I understand it, and I do, especially like if it's a car accident. I get it more if it's a car accident. I really wouldn't say anything, but 9 out of 10. I'm not going to say it as a statistic because I really don't know, but just the way I think, at least 8 out of 10 times you fall on a bicycle or get in a bicycle, like a motorcycle crash, you're dead. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's a higher yeah.
It's a way higher probability than being in a car, you know?
You might have a helmet on, but you can get thrown 30, 40 feet and fucking
And just roll.
and your neck snaps or
You know what I mean?
yep.
It could happen in a car, less likely though, because you're wrapped in fucking all the metal.
Right.
And granted, you could be, it's a green light. You're ready to go, and this guy's flying through the intersection and fucking T-bones your ass.
On his phone, not paying attention.
Exactly. So anything can happen, but I would just, as an owner standpoint, it's like, look, I get it's normal life. I can't tell you what to do and what not to do with your life, but it's like you got to be smart as well here as too.
Well, he could have had a jacket on.
Should I be riding a motorcycle during the season, or even the off season? No. You're a multi-millionaire. You can't wait just to retire and then go fucking buck nutty. As my dad would say, "Oh, you give a kid millions of dollars, what's he gonna do with it? He's gonna fucking show off.
Right.
He's gonna get the most expensive things." And like we talk about it all the time, why are players getting drunk and not calling the fucking car service, which is given to them for life,
Right.
not just the time you play, for life. It's just be a little smarter. That's what I'm saying with Tatis. Look, what's done is done. Can't fix it. You broke your wrist. Now you got caught for PEDs. Whatever it is. What's done is done. Let's just use our head from now on here. Because if you don't, I will get rid of you. I will get rid of you. I'm not dealing with a headache.
And now using your head, fucking him getting caught with the PEDs and saying, "Oh, I took the medication that was gonna treat ringworm, and I didn't know the medication contained this substance. I didn't look, or I didn't ask my agent, or whatever." Like,
well, the funniest thing is, like,
I'm sorry, like
we consider
I'm
ourselves.
one of the biggest boo, about the steroids and shit. So it's like I just feel it's a total cop out. Like,
Essentially, you're like,
How dare you?
yeah, like it's.
I get it. Michael, we would consider ourselves media guys pretty much because we're reporting to you, the people that watch us. My first question that hit me was, where'd you get ringworm from? Where? How? You know? Like, what was it, years back when Sam Darnold got fucking mono? It's like, everybody was like, oh, mono's a serious thing. We should all be fucking eye-opening to it. Sam Darnold got it. No, first thing that popped in my head is, what dirty stripper's ass were you eating? Who were you kissing? What'd you do?
Okay, so ringworm can happen from human to human. Ringworm often spreads by direct skin-to-skin contact with an infected person. Animal by human. Object to human can spread by the contact with objects or surfaces that are infected. Person or animal has recently touched or rubbed against clothing, towels, bedding,
Hold on,
linen,
Danny.
combs, and brushes.
Hold on, Danny. What do we say about all these other sports shows? Why are we talking about food? Why are we talking about this? And it's the first fucking time I think it's actually happened on this show where we got to talk about some absolute fucking nonsense because some jackass doesn't know how to hang around fucking clean people. Why are we talking about, like I said, the first thing that popped in my head was, how did you get ringworm? Like, I would have just been like, look, I didn't even know. I didn't know I couldn't take it. That was it. That's all I would have said. I didn't know.
But that's why I feel like throwing in the ringworm, that's where the whole story becomes.
It's not even an ad. That's a.
Bruh. Stop it.
Like,
Get some help.
like you're just. I think you're a lying ass dog. Like, you know. Fuck out of here. You didn't know.
Well, all right.
I'm not responsible enough to know what, like.
Nah, don't you dare. Don't you dare just say responsible when you're going to defend the cocksucker for riding a bicycle.
Two different things.
A motorcycle, yes. We've seen it a lot, especially in the NFL, where every year the list is updated. They take things on this, they put things on this list, and they take things off this list that would be considered PEDs, performance enhancing drugs. Now, I don't know the full science of it. I don't know how long PEDs last in your blood, right?
Right.
So there's been circumstances where a player will take something 1 year, right? Or take it all the way into like the off season, right?
Okay, so I just looked up. I guess this is just a general on it, or this is real without looking into it. So 2 to 7 days.
All right.
If being detected by urine test, but can be detected for longer if the use is repeated.
See, this is what I mean. So you could be taking this stuff, right, with all your creatine and all the bullshit you take and the powders and all that, right?
Right.
So, and you're taking it every day through the off season while you're training, right? Now, boom, the list comes out that's updated. What you've been taking is on that list, right?
Yeah, but I read part of the article that said that his prior drug test came back negative without an issue. So and now this all of a sudden, boom.
See, I was trying to like just defend a player in a little bit of an aspect, as in, now the new season starts, the thing you've been taking is on the list, and then boom, within a couple of days they call you for a drug test. Now like, hey, you're fucked, and it's like, come on, man,
Right.
like, I didn't know, I really didn't. It wasn't on the list from previous years. Now the league year starts, the list goes out, and it's like, well, what the fuck? And a lot of the times, excuse me, a lot of the times, the players are focusing on so many other things that they're not concerned about what they're taking, is because the training staff of the organization is giving them these supplements and medicines and whatever, right?
And if they're supposed to get, be more on top of it, I'm not trying to take away responsibility of a player, but if you're in the middle of training and everything going on and you have agents and everything, honestly, as the agent, you should be on top of the list and everything going on with that. Be like, yo, checking in on the supplements, making sure. I don't know. I feel as though
I feel as that, yes, the player should get reprimanded because you're doing it. You know what I mean? Even if you're not really knowledgeable that you're doing it, to some degree, you're still responsible. You still have to take accountability, right? But
right.
the team should be fined, and the trainer should be looked at. The people that were giving him this medication, They should be looked at and they should be suspended to a certain point. And at a certain point, if you get caught like 2 or 3 times with a player that you were training on in a facility and they get caught for it, you should be liable for that. 3 strikes, you're out. You can't train in the NFL no more. If they really wanted to fix the problem, that's how they should address it. Because I guarantee you, every trainer will be on it now. They'll make sure everything is clean and it doesn't affect the list. So now it's like, look, it ain't me. The motherfucker sorted out somewhere else. I didn't give it to him.
They told me I was good to go.
Exactly. So then it would solely be on the player.
Right.
But I think MLB, the NBA, and the NFL need to look into it and start addressing the trainers and suspension with trainers. Right?
That could definitely be something to definitely look at for sure.
Right, because that's how you fix the problem. Right? So it's all right, now you fix the problem with the trainers, so now it's not your organizations, right? It's not your teams doing it. It's the players seeking it from outside people. So now it's 100% on him. Now it's like you can't say, "Oh, I didn't know. My trainer said it was all right, and he's with the organization." That goes out the window now.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, 80 games, he's lucky. He should be counting his blessings. It was 80 games.
I mean, I think that's a first-time offense, so I think that's what it is.
That's what they have in their player agreement.
Yeah, and then hold on. Let me look it up real quick.
I think you're right. It probably is first offense. Second offense is a year. Third offense is probably like 2 years, and then
I think the third offense is lifetime ban.
Oh, it's 3 times and you're out.
I believe so. Yeah, hold on. I will pull up. Just a second.
I got it for you.
One side, we find the right league, the link. So this was 2004, but it doesn't.
The second violation earns a suspension equal to the total number of championship season games in the league. A third violation results in a permanent ban. Yeah. And I don't understand the second violation. A second violation earns a suspension equal to the total number of championship season games in the league. Championship season games in the league?
Well, that's 7 games in a championship series.
Yeah, but season games, so it's 162 games. So so they're essentially saying it's
you're out for the year.
You're out for the year. Why did we need to get that whole fuck thing right there, Google? It'd have been very easy to be like, number 1, 80. Number 2, 162. And number 3, you're fucking out.
Yeah.
That was a mind fuck and a half. That was 100%. What the fuck?
Yeah, no,
We'll touch on that a little later with the hate it or love it.
All
right. So the Field of Dreams game, I love it. I didn't watch it this season because who the fuck cares about those teams?
The Reds and the Cubs.
They're dog shit this year. You couldn't sell that game, bro. I'd rather watch the Little League Championships right now.
Not even, it hasn't started yet, but not even that. You could have offered tickets to the game for free, and I bet you still wouldn't have had a packed house.
No. So that game, I believe, should be a 3-game set between 2 contenders, or at least rivals.
Yeah, rivals and contenders.
Right? Because, I seen it all over on MLB.com, the news from the game. I'm like, how did you guys are trying to pull shit out of your ass for this game, because that game fucking probably sucked.
Yeah, like, for example, that used to be, like, between the Yankees and the Red Sox. Or
if you're going to do it, do, like you said, a rivalry. Chicago Cubs, at least, versus the Chicago White Sox.
Yeah,
you'll pull a demographic.
Cardinals and the Royals.
I wouldn't touch the Royals with a 10-foot pole from Main
No,
Street.
but I would definitely bring that they played in the World Series in '85.
It is 2022.
Yeah, but I think that's still a rival match that you
for you, because I didn't even know they played in 1985. You
Okay.
think another young fan is going to know that? They're not going to give a shit.
Well,
Because right now, both.
step your game up, young man.
Yeah,
If you're a baseball fan, friend.
but I wasn't even out of my dad's nuts yet.
Neither was I.
So it's not even step my game up. I had to get shot out before that. It's not my fault he took his goddamn time and waited 6 years.
Shit happens.
But it's got to be between two contending teams that year. I think, honestly, they don't announce, like, that game's got to be, you know, it happened this week, right? So 2 weeks prior, they announced that matchup.
A month, at least, yeah, or at least
Or a
a month.
A month before it.
Because you got to figure if it's in August, you got April, May, June, July. You got 4 months to find out who your true contenders are for sure.
And they could market that so good. You know what would have been great for it? I'll tell you one thing. If they waited for the Yankee and Met 2-game series.
Or instead of it being a 2-game series, it has to be a 3-game series like a regular series is.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't have to be 4. You know, or you can do Atlanta and New York. You could do, I mean, especially this year. I mean, but then again, it's like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. I feel like, I don't know how Cubs and Reds fans felt about their team doing that and going there and playing in that game.
Watch.
But either way, I bet you, if, I don't know, I feel like different teams in different areas would feel differently about it. Some would be excited, some would care more than others, you know.
If it was Houston and fucking the Yankees, it probably would have sold out crazy.
Yeah.
You don't think Yankee fans would fly to wherever the fuck it is? Was it Illinois or something like that?
Yeah.
Or Indiana? I think it's Indiana. So
No.
you don't think they would have flown out? Especially if it's like a meaningful series? That's what I'm saying. It has to have meaning to it. Chicago and Cincinnati, they suck balls this year. Like, they moved more players probably at the trade deadline than anybody. Like, it was a great game last year. It was a great idea. It should be a once a year thing. It's a great thing. But two teams that are ideally not even ideally. There's a 0% chance they make the playoffs now.
Iowa.
Oh, Iowa. There's a 0% chance. They have what? There's 54 games relatively for most teams in the league, right? They'd have to go essentially 54-0 to make the playoffs.
And if anything, you could definitely save it to the end of the year. You know, have two contenders play the last 3 games of the season.
Yeah, but
you know,
if the way they're like, you know,
and positions are already in place, and then you know you wouldn't really have to mess up with the schedule. You could make it as it is, and then just make sure they play 3 times at the end of the year.
Yeah, but I think from their marketing point of view, like they're trying to get people there, and they're trying to sell it on TV and get the views up. Like
right.
It's got to be at a warm climate. If it's cold, like you know, Idaho.
No, at the end of September.
In Idaho.
I don't know. I mean,
That's gonna be cold as a motherfucker.
You might actually get
there may be snow. You may not even be able to fucking play.
Yeah,
End of September in Idaho, whatever the fuck it is, in Iowa.
Hey. The end of September in Colorado could probably yield snow. I'm sure there has, just like early April.
Yeah.
But
I mean, that had you pissed off a couple months ago?
No, it was a few years back. They went out to Colorado and there was some snow. I forgot what year that was. But
all right, so let's move on to 13-man pitching staff was employed on June 20th this season. And a fun fact stat for you guys, in 2016 to now, there have been 26 pitchers who have pitched who are not pitchers. Since the rule has been in place since June 20th, 34 players who are not pitchers have pitched in the MLB. Now, many people are arguing the rule is good because it's going to fix the pitching staffs in baseball, where you're going to have to find more reliable starters.
And the best quality arms.
Yes.
Not, you know.
But I think it's backfiring because you can't just make it 13. You got to like dwindle down so then the league can adjust year by year because nobody's just going to find arms out there like that. Now, I do like it because it's going to give more minor leaguers shots. But it is going to give them more shots, but it's going to hurt them as well.
Yeah, I remember hearing that. What also with that is like the team's ability and inability to option guys and send them back and forth. Honestly, if you're gonna do something like that, then you need to, give the players that are eligible to be in that category. You have to give the team the ability to be able to now with those players at any given moment, up and down, injuries, too much usage on a young guy.
It's also
Whatever.
the reason why I say it could hurt them as well is the reason why it could hurt them is because now teams could find their guys and now you can get shut out because it's such a small roster.
Yeah.
So for the guys who are really good, it's going to benefit them in the minors because they're going to come up and then they're going to stay. Now for the guys still trying to develop and trying to get up, it's going to hurt them because now teams have what they have. There's no room for, let me bring this guy up for, better part of the year and see what he's got and sprinkle him in here and there.
Right.
Now it's like, well, I can't take a chance on you. I need these guys who have proven that they can go 7 innings, 6, 7 innings. And I know Buck Showalters and majority of the head coaches hate it. They can't stand it because now look, 26 times in 6 years, and the first time they put the rule in place, 34. That means managers are really having to turn around and be like, all right, who pitched in high school?
And yeah, and bring a lot of different guys. I've seen that in highlights. A couple of different guys at times are asked to come in and just start an inning and
Rizzo did it for the fucking Cubs a couple years ago.
So yeah, I think something definitely needs to, if they're gonna stick with that, at least alter it a little bit.
What was it before June 20th?
I think you said 26.
No. What was the roster? What was the limit on it before June 20th?
I'm not sure.
Hold on.
Sorry. Yeah, MLB will be different. Are limited to 13. Found it. What impact will this have? This one wants to
Honestly,
boost
it's not really that much of a change.
because they want to boost offense and curb pitching dominance.
Yeah, but it really wasn't that much of a change. Like Seattle was the only team that had 15 pitchers. So the majority of the league had 14 pitching staff. So they only cut it by 1. So I don't understand why people are freaking the fuck out. I don't understand how I really don't understand how that number has gone to 34. With just cutting one man.
Yeah, I don't know.
So this is interesting. One cut of a pitching roster is made that much of a change. So maybe it will bring a drastic change to the dominance in pitching. Because now it's more pressure on these starters where it's like, dude, you gotta go fucking 7 innings.
And you gotta pitch a lot better than
Well,
not like I said,
what was the Yankee game the other day against the Mariners, where it was the game of Garrett Cole. They had to use all their fucking bullpen because it went into extra innings to 13 innings. So the bullpen was spent.
Right.
So the next day, Nestor Cortez, who was pitching pretty good, he get through 6 innings. If they hadn't used the bullpen, they would have been able to use it there because the next inning he goes out. He was tired because he was at his pitch cap around 92, 93, and he gets fucking chilled.
Yeah. And then not even just with that, it just in general, it just if that's the case where you get an extra inning game like that, and the games and they're doing it like that to slow it down, but it's still being extended at times. Um,
Well, I believe in the playoffs it should be, you know, the roster should go to 14 at least.
they should increase it to help,
Yeah,
but you got to think even in general how many extra inning games are teams really playing in a given year now? I mean, you figure if you go and look, I mean, last night the Mets they played an extra inning game against Philly, and I think they were 9-2 on the year in extra inning games. It's only 11
all right.
out of the 100 and some odd games
Yeah,
they
but
played.
if the average is 11,
So
if the average is 11 for all 30 teams, that's like 300 games. You have 300, you know, extra inning games.
between the whole league,
Yeah,
right?
between the whole league. Nice. I love the
Because
I
I'm
love
sitting
the
there
I
like,
love the
wait, how?
face you just gave me. He was like,
Because I'm
"Fuck."
saying, I'm like, oh, how the fuck you get to that number?
He said that he was like, "The fuck are you talking about? 300 something extra inning games."
It's like the Russell Westbrook. What?
Yeah, yeah. What? All right, hold on. Let's see. Average extra.
So you figure if it's that's 300 games a year at least. League wide that would be yeah, but still, even so, you'd have them spread out over the course of a year. I mean, sometimes they come in inopportune times, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And hopefully, if you're the one of the better teams, it happens less too. But so,
Hold on.
what are you trying to find? Maybe I can help you. What are you looking for,
I'm
my
looking
friend?
for how many extra inning games there were last year.
Let me see if I can help you with that. Hmm. Well, I didn't say. You just totally ignored my question, and you.
Yeah, they're doing the same thing to me right now.
The first thing I got was opening day 2021 saw 4 games going to extras. Like really, I want the whole fucking year, jackass. Okay, here we go. If this is accurate, 2021 saw 16 games go to extra innings versus 60, or well, it says 16 games go over 11 innings. So I mean that's in general that's 16 extra inning games.
Yeah, but
So
that's just over 11 innings. It can go to 10 innings.
yeah.
That's why I'm like, just give me the fucking whole
So
number.
let's I don't know, let's double look because I'm looking at this right, and then versus 60 in 2019.
So there's got to be an average of at least 100 games played a
Yeah,
year
that's why I
of
said I
extra
wanted to
innings.
read that because then that gives us an average of the ballpark we're looking at now.
Yeah, I think
That
it's got to be close to 100
yeah,
a
for
year.
sure.
Oh, we'll do. I'll do the due diligence because that wasn't really in our notes for this week. Next
No,
Saturday,
but
we'll have
just
those
something that
numbers.
came up. Extended into that.
I just hate when you ask a question on Google. It's like,
Are you delusional?
Yeah,
Do you
it
suffer
takes
from a
you.
mental illness?
Dog, you're supposed to have all the answers. I asked
It's
the
like it's
general
like
fucking
how
question.
it's like how else am I supposed to ask that question to where the algorithm is like, oh yeah, I get you,
Yeah,
I know what you want.
yeah, and
Like,
all I'm saying, like, it's like extra innings, and Google's like, did you mean the rule changes of the Ghost Runner? And then I'm like, no, I just want to know the number of games that have gone into extra innings. They're like,
It's gonna give you so many things. Yeah, because it's gonna give you so many things related to it. It's like, yeah, just take all this shit. This is everything I got.
Google's
Find it.
Google's treating us like
Yeah, this is big brain time.
no, it's just really easy question.
Super simple.
You ask that question, they're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I bet you the guy behind it that has to put all the algorithms together that did that was probably looking at us right now and going, "You thought you was gonna find it." All right, so
Yeah.
in other news, Al Avila was fired as VP and GM of the Detroit Tigers. I think rightfully so.
Yeah, I mean, he's been there since 2015, I think.
Yeah, and nothing's worked.
I
See,
think they had one good year.
yeah, but no. Like it's a good year, but nothing amounted from it. We were dog shit immediately the next year.
Right.
So I mean, he'll probably find another job somewhere else. But I think Detroit made the right move, as in like, look, we gave you time, nothing prospered from it. You got to go.
Yep. No, I can agree with that.
And honestly, I mean, I don't think he's going to get a VP or a GM job again. He'll probably
No,
get
it'll
something
probably
else.
be like head scout or or some type of player development guy.
Yeah, until
And I mean, maybe at some point again he'll get another shot.
oh yeah,
But
but people got to forget about his time at Detroit.
or maybe he just accepts a different role for a little while and then
That's what I mean. People need
because
time
he
to
might
forget.
go for the spot right off the rip. But if he doesn't like the situation, he could just take a different spot and then go back at a later date or whatever.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna move on to the Yankees' house is on fire. What can they do to put it out?
The roof is on fire.
Yes.
We don't want no water. Let that motherfucker burn. Not
Burn,
need.
motherfucker.
We don't want no water. Burn that bitch to the ground. Keep burning, motherfucker.
I think pitching one. They made those moves for those pitchers. They haven't really produced. I mean, Montas, when he came in for his first start, he hadn't pitched in like 14 days.
Yeah,
Because he had a death in the family, which is, that he has more than a right to take time for his family. So
yeah.
So I'll give him a pass for his first start, but overall, the health of their bullpen. I mean, Clay Holmes is not who he was in that first half of the season.
Nope.
They traded away Montgomery, which I don't. For the life of me, I don't know why you would trade away a piece that was working for you.
Yeah. Because now losing that arm is looking very big right now.
And what's funny to me is I said it. What was it? I said the Yankees were winners because they got a great defensive team with the additions that they made, right? The only thing is because now Stanton's hurt, Rizzo's hurt, and a couple other guys are hurt, they can't get no run support from these guys. I mean, they can't get nothing.
Nope.
And the only person hitting home runs is, when he's doing it now, nobody's on base.
Yeah.
So essentially, if they can't get runs on the board, he's going to have to kill the game, in the bottom of the ninth or the top of the ninth. You know what I mean? And that puts a lot of strain on the pitching staff to, hold another team to 0 runs.
And granted, Judge is having a historic year, but even that alone, like, all right, so let's just say the Yankees, they got 71 wins this year, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's just say, I don't know, whatever Aaron Judge's WAR is, but let's just say he can account for 25 or so of those wins for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Big games, walk-off hits, stuff like that. So, but you still have another at least 30 or 40 more games that you have to play that, well, up until this point you've done fine, but now kind of the structure around him has fallen apart.
Yeah.
Or, not performing like they were. Well,
100%. I mean, he can't do it all himself. and
No.
they're not healthy. They're not healthy. The pitching staff hasn't been performing. Now, I will give Aaron Boone credit in one factor, as in he has been doing a really good job with giving the guys rest and rotating the guys. So I think that's going to help them come to the end of the season when everybody should be healthy and performing. I mean, who's the guy they have that's not coming back until about late September? Luis?
I'm not sure. Severino, maybe.
Yeah, Severino. Luis Severino. Yeah, he's supposed to come back. But you don't know how long is it going to take for him to get back into the swing of things?
You know, because even after a couple of rehab starts, you're not just going to throw him out there and expect him to toss 7 innings, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you would love it if he did. But so now banking off of their only solid piece.
And what helps them, too, is the fact that they got up to such a hot start that well, I'm hearing it's more than a slump at this point now.
No, this isn't a slump, because this is a slump with injuries and underperforming. You know what I mean?
You know, they because, like I said, because the way they started, they can sustain this right now. But if it stays like this the rest of the year,
red flags, 100% red flags.
They'll still probably make the playoffs, but that's gonna be a very different looking team than what we saw 2 months ago.
Oh, Phil, yeah, 100%. I mean, over this last month, since the All-Star break, and we've said it, since that Mets series, the Yankees do not look the same. They just don't.
Yeah.
And outside, you're not going to get a great start from Garrett Cole every time. You would love it if you could, but you're not. It's not going to happen. And my opinion on Garrett Cole is he's too up and down. There's no real true consistency to his pitching.
Kind of like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde kind of thing.
Yeah, in such a sense, and it could be covered up because of the Yankee offense. But they have no offense right now.
And I hear on the fan, a couple of times that they've said, here and there, like, oh, you're like, he'll pitch like 6 innings, give up 5 runs. He won't pitch good. He won't pitch bad.
He's right in the gray
but
area.
It's like you're not really exactly helping the team still, though.
No.
It's like you're just there. It's like, oh yeah, all right, this is what I can contribute.
I mean, he's doing his job as far as I'll give him that. He's doing his job as far as trying to, pitch scoreless games and give his offense a chance just to give him some run support. And it's funny because weeks ago you were irate about the Mets bats.
About a month or so ago.
Yeah, and at the same time, and we said it for the Yankees. The Yankees don't look the same, and the Mets look better. And I think Buck's not a big person on rivalry like that for New York, but he gets it for the fans. And I think the clubhouse really understood, like, look, if we lose this series, everybody's just going to talk even more shit about us, and it's going to ride us into the ground.
See, but yeah, maybe that's an internal thing that they all think about, but they all don't talk about it because it's like, Buck's the kind of manager where he's like, 9 innings. That's what we have today. And you've heard him. How many times have you heard him say that? We got 9 innings. That's what's in front of us. We have to play that today. Tomorrow.
He's almost like Bill Parcells. We're on to Cincinnati.
It's the same
we're
shit.
On to Cincinnati, I mean.
Basically.
I mean, he probably does preach that same mentality of, guys, just go out there, do your job. Don't worry about whatever's going on outside.
Don't worry about the standings and the media.
Just do your job. But I think the players themselves, I think that locker room themselves was like, nah, we're going to go out there and beat the shit out of them. You know what I mean? Now, sometimes you don't. You win, but you don't win by much. And then the second game, they kick the shit out of them.
Winning is winning. Doesn't matter whether you win by an inch or a mile.
I know, but all right, hypothetical right here. If the Mets do win a World Series this year, right? In the documentary that's going to come with that World Series, that series is going to be where all the players and the people in that staff are going to say, that's where we planted our fucking flag and we knew we were going. That was like the pinnacle of the season, like the message to the fan of the clubhouse and everybody in the organization, like
citywide and everything. And granted, they still have to play another 2 coming up.
Oh yeah, but it's like
That's what got the whole thing started.
That'd be I would say that'd be the pinnacle of the year where everybody in the organization knew this is the year. This team is built for it.
Right.
And you know the the Yankees should be scared. Essentially, if they fix their problems, right, and their woes go away and they get back on track and they go to the World Series and they play the Mets. I'm sorry, you can't. Your pitching staff does not have what the Mets pitching staff is built like. Their
No.
pitching staff is the starting rotation is I'd say the best in baseball.
When completely healthy, yes.
Right now, they're the best.
Right now, yes.
Right now, they're the best pitching staff in baseball. They lost 1-0 last night. That's an extra innings.
2-1.
Oh, 2-1. I apologize. Still, I mean, DeGrom, Scherzer, Bassett, Carrasco,
Yeah, honestly,
Taiwan.
And honestly, I've been. How many times have I told you I'm super shady about Cookie this year at times? But I mean, he's pitching to a sub-4 ERA. He's fucking tied for first in the league in the National League with wins, I think.
Yeah, I think he's at 10 or 11.
13.
Oh, 13. Damn. Oh, wait, then Bassett just hit his 10th win the other day.
So.
Right? Bassett hit his 10th win the other day?
I
Or was
think
that
so.
Taiwan?
I think Taiwan's at 8 or 9.
Yeah, but still, look at that pitching staff. Scherzer's at like 9 wins.
No, I think he's got like
7. No, I
11.
think he's 7-2.
I'm gonna check.
No, I believe he's 7-2. So he's 7-2. By the end of the year, he'll have 10 wins. DeGrom, he should have about what? Maybe 7 wins by then.
I think he'll probably have like 5, maybe.
The way he's pitching right now, I wouldn't be surprised if he has 7 wins.
Max is 8-2 right now.
8-2. He should be over 10 wins for the year. That pitching staff, let alone, is going to have fucking 10. Everybody's almost going to have 10
Max
wins.
should be at about 15 by now with the time that he missed.
DeGrom should be at.
Pitching,
DeGrom should be at that.
if DeGrom was healthy and he was healthy, he'd be at about 15 as well.
So
right there, you have them two accounting for 30 wins.
30 wins right there. That's, dude, honestly, I think at that point, they'd be blowing the league out of the water.
You mean to tell me you can't get another 30 out of your last 3 at least? Now that's 60 games right there.
Yeah. Dude, like I just said, think about it. If they were all healthy and the league and everybody that's a fan of baseball should think about this, they would be dominating the league right now. I think they'd be at almost 80 some odd wins already.
They'd have a better record than the Dodgers.
Yes, we'd be looking at the Mets like, holy shit.
And people would be saying Mets Astros World Series.
You could put anybody there. I don't think anybody's beating them. And that's my point.
The Astros, like I said a few weeks ago, the Astros are the only team I'm really worried about.
Yeah, but they just lost their center fielder. He's done for the year. Yeah, but he's a big piece in the playoffs. Bradbury, I believe his name is.
I'm not sure. I'd have to check that out.
Yeah, they lost him. He had to get shoulder surgery. So that's, back to what we were talking about. The Yankees is it's backfiring. They have all that defense, but the bats are not clicking. Now, hopefully, eventually, they can get the bats clicking, and the pitching staff can settle back in. So that's what you're looking for. Hopefully, Judge does his thing, and a couple other key guys can come back like Stanton and Rizzo and fix it. Rizzo was having a solid year until his back.
Michael Brantley.
Yeah, Michael Brantley. Done for the year. That's a piece.
Yeah, but back to what you're saying about the Yankees. I mean, you got to figure at this point, even getting them back on track, I don't know. I'm sorry. I just feel like they're gassed. It's like they put so much into the beginning of the season and up until a certain point, and I don't know. I just feel like it's definitely fatigue for sure.
Well, that's why I said I attributed Boone for doing his best with rotating these guys and giving these guys days off. It's just the injury bug is hit. Now, yes, I'll give Cashman. He did good to get guys, right? He didn't make the biggest splash, right? I think he's got to go. I think it's done for Cashman. I think Cashman's got to go. All right, so let's hop into the top 5 dead or alive. Third baseman this week. You want to go first, Danny, or you want me to?
You could start it off.
All right. Number 1, I have George Brett. Number 2, I have Mike Schmidt. Number 3, I have Eddie Matthews. Number 4, I have Wade Boggs. Fucking Boggs. Number 5, Greg Nettles. Now, he's in the top 15. A lot of people would put him in the top 15. Top 5, that I just love the way he played third base because I played third base as a kid.
Yeah.
Eddie Matthews, I mean, he's really an old-time player. That's the 1920s and 30s right there, or 40s.
I mean, yeah, 50s and 60s. You know, it's debatable that you can even say he's the best third baseman ever. I mean, I know that you still have Brooks Robinson and Mike Schmidt, but you have George Brett at 1, but it's like Eddie Matthews kind of gets like forgotten almost in a sense.
Yeah, I think that's just time. You know what I mean? Time has
Yeah,
passed.
That was over 60 years ago. I mean,
Maybe
people still
60, 70 years ago. Could be something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you can't exclude him off the list. It's just I haven't seen enough for him to be number 1. I've seen George Brett play. I mean, I've seen Mike Schmidt play. They were fucking fantastic. People would argue Mike Schmidt's probably the best ever.
Yeah.
To me, I just prefer George. That sounded so... All right, no homo. Pause. You know what I mean? I just prefer George.
Yeah.
That's a...
All right.
All right, who do you got, Danny?
Number 1, Mike Schmidt. Number 2, Eddie Matthews. Number 3, Brooks Robinson. Number 4, George Brett. And number 5, Adrian Beltre.
I figured I was waiting for David Wright in there.
No.
No?
He's not one of the best ever. He was good.
One of the best Mets ever at third base.
Yeah.
But not...
I mean, he's not one of the worst, that's for sure, but
he's not the best.
He doesn't even crack the top 10.
All right. So we're going to jump into NBA news here.
Awesome.
There's actually something to talk about this week. Yeah.
There is.
All right, so as we know, Bill Russell passed about last week in his sleep next to his wife. Rest in peace. Prayers for his family. The NBA is retiring his number across the entire league, which, I'd be honest with you, why did it take this long? His number should have been retired throughout the league, even if he wasn't dead.
It takes him to die for them to do that?
Like, really? Come on, we're talking about the best player ever in their league as in terms of championships, and he coached.
Right.
So I'm a little upset with the NBA at that. Like, we're waiting for people to die to give them this honor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, players who currently wear number 6 can remain to do so. I don't agree with that. Look, you got to pick a different number.
Yeah.
But teams cannot issue out the number again. 19 players currently wear number 6.
Okay.
I think out of respect for Bill Russell, if you're wearing number 6, you should just give it up and pick a different number.
I agree.
All right. So now the Nets have established that they want Tatum and Brown and will not accept anything less if they're going to trade for KD. Which I understand. I'm in agreement with the Nets. Look, I'm not just taking Brown and you're getting one of the best players, probably right now, the best player in the world.
Right.
No, it's not happening. Even if he is acting like a little bitch. Sorry, I just had to say it. I just had to say it.
Yeah.
Now, Kevin Durant responded to the world and said when he met with the team owner, I believe in Peru, with James Harden, by the way, not that James Harden was in the meeting. Kevin Durant said, look, if you're not going to trade me, then I want you to fire Steve Nash and the GM Marks. Who the fuck are you? Like,
he's like the LeBron for the Nets. Like, oh, I want this, you do this. Oh, this coach. Oh, this player. It's not the LeBron team. It's not the Durant team.
It's not. Yeah, it's the Brooklyn Nets.
Superstar, megastar, but still.
That's it. Honestly, I'm in agreement with this girl right now because that's what I would 100% say to him if I was the owner.
How dare you?
And then followed by,
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
Who the fuck do you think you are?
You're not bigger than an organization.
Exactly. Like, look, I pick who the fucking GM is and who fucking coaches the team. I don't know who the fuck you think you are. I honestly, and net fans will back me up on this right now. They want him gone. They're tired. They're tired of the games. Look, you said you wanted to build a dynasty for a team, so you chose Brooklyn. They did this. They did all this for you, and you just up and, nah, I'm out. I don't want to be here. Like, good God, man.
It's like you're not putting in any effort to make it work, and now you just want to leave.
I'm no longer a Kevin Durant fan. I really could give a shit less. This is ridiculous.
I mean, I definitely won't be tuning in to watch him play. Not like I ever really did, but, prior to this, never really had an issue with him. But, certain things that players do at times definitely alters the way you look at them. So then it's like, all right, well, I'm not going to waste my time to watch.
Yeah.
So.
And honestly, they're like Net fans are screaming, dump him wherever, like dump him to the shittiest team.
Well, now I'm hearing the Sixers are interested because,
Well, that was going to be the next point I was going to say is, now, Philly already got hit with tampering charges. Are they going to get hit again with James Harden fucking trying to recruit him to go to Philly? And if I'm Brooklyn, I want Embiid, Maxey, and fucking everybody else.
Well, Embiid for sure.
Yeah, I want Embiid, Maxey, and a couple other guys. There's no way you're not giving me Embiid.
And I want a couple of drafts too, just because I feel like it.
Mm-hmm. I want three first-round draft picks. If you can't do that, yeah, fucking take your business elsewhere.
Yeah. No, I agree.
All right. So we got about 15 minutes left of the show. I say we just go right into the hate it or love it.
All right.
You start us off, buddy.
Hate it or love it. Durant doesn't get traded.
Wow, you're an asshole.
I was thinking of ones and I was looking into things that were going on throughout the league. So I'm like, you know what? All right.
I just can't believe we just went through all the NBA topics and then you just punched me right in the face with that. Oh boy. I hate it. You gotta go. You're a fucking cancer to the organization now. You gotta go.
Yeah.
Up until that point, I would have said, all right, I love it. You know what I mean? Fuck it. He's gonna play. He's not gonna be an asshole. With him saying that, I genuinely think
he's gonna opt to sit.
He'll sit. I think at this point he'll sit. So
and then what it can do to the team in general, like, how many times do we see situations like this happening, and it affects the way the team plays, and it just puts a dark cloud over a team, and
yeah, it's like, and what do you think the teammates think about him?
Exactly.
It's like, dude,
now they're all in the same locker room together.
Exactly. You're a cancer, and we already traded for a cancer in Ben Simmons. I'm not trying to have two, and then fucking we're fucking dead from the the neck down.
Right.
Like, you gotta go. You're a cancer. Up until that point, once he said that, in my mind, it was, all right, look, you're gone. Don't worry, I'll get you gone in 2 days. So I hate it.
Yeah.
All right. Hate it or love it, Danny. PEDs in any sport should be a mandatory year suspension.
I agree. I love it.
Yeah, I think I love it as well. I think it should be a year suspension. The next one, it should be 2. Third, you're out.
No, I don't. Honestly, this should be the one situation in baseball where there's no 3 strikes, you're out. One and done. You fuck up one, or I guess a 2 and done. You fuck up once, you get a year suspension. Fuck up again, you're done.
Like from the show F is for Family, Smokey. He's like, oh, I get 3 strikes, like it's like baseball. He's like, no, you get 2. This is International Women's Softball.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
it's up to you.
All right. Hate it or love it. Von Miller cracks the top 10 all-time sack leader. I think he needs 7 or 8 to get there.
I love it.
And he wants to fulfill this whole contract with Buffalo.
I love it. I think he'll do it. I think he'll
Yeah.
go in the Hall of Fame. He is one of the greats. He's won Super Bowls.
Definitely.
Well, a Super Bowl, but I mean,
still, he's always been an elite.
Yes. 100%. Always been elite.
So even at this age now, he's still
Yeah.
Tops in the league.
I mean, look at what he did for the Rams.
Yeah.
He came in, did his job, helped them win a Super Bowl.
Right.
Denver, he was the man. But
Yep.
he needed help. He had DeMarcus Ware and Derek Wolfe. But he has been elite within himself, 100%, I think. I love it. He'll definitely do it. There's no doubt in my mind. All right, Danny. Hate it or love it. Jets have to sign DeJuan Brown now.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Because now what? Because that other guy, I forgot his name.
They think he's
Beecham or whatever.
Yeah, Beecham, yeah.
He's done for the year, right?
Yeah, he's done for the
Yeah,
year.
you absolutely. That should have been a move already been made.
Well, before they knew that he was going to be out for the year, they had brought Dwayne Brown to talk. So I think where the conversations were going was, as in Dwayne Brown was like, look, I'm not trying to come to a place where I can't start. I want to start. Like, I still have the talent to start. So they were kind of on the fence, like, all right, well, we don't want to blow the money. And now that, Mackay has gone down, I think regardless of the money, now you have to pay him to play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You need that. You need that guy. And what is it? Left tackle, I think it is. Or
I think so. Yeah.
They don't just appear out of nowhere. They don't grow on trees.
You gotta protect Willie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, Willie
Wilson, Zach Wilson.
All right. That threw me off. Willie. I'm like, who the fuck is Willie? That's what we're calling him now. That's his name.
I guess that's the first thing that just popped in my head.
So now
when I thought of his last name, Wilson.
Just
Willie.
Willie. But now if he sucks, I'm calling him One-Eyed Willie.
Groundskeeper Willie.
It's groundskeeper Willie. All right. It's on you, Danny.
Hate it or love it. Odell Beckham goes to Buffalo. Because I've been hearing reports that Miller's trying to recruit him over to Buffalo now and do what they just did in L.A. And Buffalo needs to fucking win one at some point. This is getting ridiculous now. Yeah. It really is. Like,
I love it. The only thing is it's his recovery time. You're not going to have him for the first 6 weeks. So it's like I feel weary about paying a guy that money, which he's going to command.
Well, maybe Vaughn can talk to him. Maybe he can get kind of like a.
I'm sorry, we friends, dog, but guess what? You ain't as good as my friend as my wallet. So, you know what I mean?
I hate it because honestly, it's not against him and his talents. It's just I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I don't feel like he's that good of a locker room guy. I mean, I'm not saying we've heard issues about Odell, but
I think he's a great locker room guy. I just think his off the field antics and his on the field antics, is what speaks loudly.
I don't think Buffalo needs anything like that.
To be honest with you, the reason why I love it is because he may be going to the Cowboys as well. And
that'd be interesting.
I don't want any part of it.
See?
Part of me does want a part of it because we need wide receivers.
Yeah.
Very badly. But I don't know. No. Please, no. No.
No!
God, please, no! No!
100%.
Yeah, so I love it. And I do think Buffalo is ready and they're primed to win a Super Bowl. So I think, look, they already broke the bank for Von Miller. Why not, go for the gusto now. Just fucking sign him. He's going to come back. It's fresh legs.
Yeah.
Right? So he'll be fresher than majority of the guys. He will help in that offense. And
he's going to be reading the playbook all year up until he's ready to play.
Exactly. And now you got Diggs and Beckham. Yeesh. That's going to be hard to fucking deal with in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I love it for that. All right, Danny. Hate it or love it. Adam Silver has to settle this KD situation right now before it gets out of hand. Before it comes to the part where, if it happens, but I do think it's going to happen, where KD's going to say, I'll sit. I don't want to play. I think he has to get involved now before it gets to that point. Because if it gets to that point, it's going to get real ugly.
Well, if he steps in, what would you like? What, he forces him to play or suspends him?
I think suspension, and then maybe force. Well, he could force trades.
Okay.
So basically, he would structure the entire deal for a team, and then the trade would happen. Basically, he would play the mediator between KD, Brooklyn, and whatever XY team.
Well, then, if that's the case, then I don't love it nor hate it, because then just let that happen in general. If it gets to that point, he does it, or if he steps in now and does it, either way, whatever, like, you gotta go. So I would love to see him gone, regardless. If it takes the commissioner to step in, oh well.
I love it just because I don't want to see, because this is gonna be more shit pile onto KD's career and his legacy, and then wherever he goes, that's all they're gonna talk about. Right now, hey, if they're talking about you, you're making money. I understand that phrase, but I think for the integrity of the league and what they've done, the league has done a lot. They let players get paid, and what the players feel they support, and
Right.
But you don't want it to be where the prisoners run the asylum. That's why I said get it done now before it gets out of hand.
Right.
All right, it's on you, sir.
Hate it or love it, the Jets' rebuild will be faster than the Giants.
Oh, I love it. They're already on pace for it.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking that the other day when I was listening to them talk Jets and Giants on the fan. I'm like, yeah, because Zach is definitely better than Daniel Jones, 100%.
Like, Daniel Jones looked like he had one good drive, right?
Tyrod Taylor looked pretty good.
I think Tyrod Taylor's taking that job from him by week 6. We talked about that.
Yeah.
Tyler just has it. Tyrod has it.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I mean, it's just it's unfortunate for him. Injuries, you know what I mean? But Daniel Jones had 2 series against New England's second unit, and he only had one good drive. They're calling it a good drive. He said it stalled out, and then they had a field goal. I didn't watch the game. That's not a good drive.
I watched the second half. Honestly, I was looking for something else, and I stumbled upon. I was like, fuck it, and I had a good link from Firestick. I was like, whatever.
Yeah, I just we talked about it last week. I don't want to touch on it again. We have limited time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I love it. I think the Jets are already not yards ahead, but they're ahead in the rebuild process.
They're marginal steps ahead.
Because they have a quarterback.
And then I just feel like they have other pieces in play that are further along.
Yeah. All right, Danny. Hate it or love it. Carson Wentz won't make it past week 6 without getting hurt.
I love it.
I love it too, because I feel bad for him. His track record just isn't good.
And then now you're going to a team like Washington.
Yeah. Good luck, buddy. Good luck. I hope he has a good year. I just don't see it.
No.
I don't see it. All right, Danny, on you.
Hate it or love it. No more neutral sites for the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Because I was listening to the fan today, and I heard them talking about the potential idea where they've talked about maybe doing that for baseball, and then I was like, wait, no, fuck that, because then it's like, there's no home field advantage.
Exactly.
Not even that. It's like how they took away the the All-Star game rule. Whoever wins gets home field advantage. Honestly, it should really come down to best record. And just like in football, if you got the Chiefs that were 12-5 and the Packers 11-6, well, the Chiefs are home.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a blizzard coming through.
Yeah, but that's football.
Oh well.
I love it. I 100% agree with you.
The ice ball, the snow, like all those crazy,
yeah.
Oh well, shit happens.
And the cities for these teams, like Kansas City or wherever, Buffalo, whatever.
Revenue for the
for the city. For the city as well too.
Yeah.
So and the city should be able to celebrate that.
Right.
Like, why do I gotta travel to fucking San Diego or fucking
San Francisco?
Why?
Right.
Like, you just robbed me of my of an experience.
Exactly.
So throughout the playoffs, I get to see them, but that final game, I can't.
Yeah.
I think that's bullshit. So I 100% agree with you. I love it.
Yes.
All right. Hate it or love it. Jimmy G is traded mid-season rather than before the season starts.
Yeah, I love it. We're too close to the season to start for them to do it now. Unless someone goes down.
Yeah. Within the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, then that's the only way that it would have to happen.
Yeah. That's the only way I see it.
Yep.
I think San Francisco is more likely to hold on to him in the middle of the year because they don't know how Trey Lance is going to work out. So why not have Jimmy G a solid backup? So if Trey Lance does get hurt, you know you have a guy that could take you to at least the NFC Championship game.
Exactly. Yep. I agree. Keep it competitive.
Yes.
Don't let don't let it completely fall apart.
Yeah. All right. Last one's on you, mate.
That was it. I'm done.
Oh, all right. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. We'll
Thank
see you
you.
guys tomorrow, 11 o'clock, for NFL news and fantasy.
Yes.
Yes. All right, lads.